Hi everyone, welcome to the PLC and Industrial Automation Laboratory. Today we are going to discuss about the first experiment, which is implementation of timers using PLC. This is P. Mahbub Hussain, Assistant Professor of EEE, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad. Here in this laboratory, we are having a total of 14 experiments. All these 14 experiments we are going to run with a PLC which is a Delta Make. So in this Delta Make PLC also, we are having different series PLCs are available. So in those series, we are going to use the DVP series PLC. In this DVP series also, we are having different model numbers. So out of which we are going to use the SS2 model PLC in this laboratory. So now in this video, we are going to discuss about the first experiment, which is timers used in this PLC. So in the Delta DVP series SS2 model PLC, so we are having a total of 256 timers. So these 256 timers are again divided into 3 timers depending upon their resolution. 100 milliseconds timer, 10 milliseconds timers, and 1 millisecond timer. If you want to use that 100 milliseconds timer, so you can use any timer from T0 to T126 or T128 to T183 or T184 to T199 or T250 to T255. So now if you observe here, T0 to T126 and T128 to T183. So these timers are general timers, and T184 to T199 are subroutines, and T250 to T255 are the accumulative timers. What is the general timer, subroutine timer, and accumulative timer? We will discuss while doing the experiments. Right? Let us see that there are three types of timers again: general, subroutines, and accumulative timers. Right? So, and in 100 millisecond timers also we are having from T200 to T239 as a general timers, and 240 to 245 as a accumulative timers. In 1 milliseconds category, we are having only 1 point as a general timer and 4 points as a accumulative timers. So when you are using the general timers in subroutines or interrupt, in such a case, those will not be executed properly. So if you are having any subroutine in your program, you have to use the timers from T184 to T199 only. Right, now let us implement the on delay, off delay, and accumulative timers. So what is on delay timer? On delay timer is nothing but, so during on period there will be a delay, and during off period there will be no delay. Suppose if you are having one switch and one bulb. So in such a case, when you press the switch, your bulb generally instantly will go. Suppose if you let us see one circuit here. This circuit 24 volts will be connected to the LED through one switch. So now when this switch is closed, this 24 volts will be connected to the LED. So LED will glow instantly. So now our requirement is that, so when I close the switch, this LED should glow after 5 seconds or after 10 seconds. In such a case, you have to use the on delay timers. That means, so during the on period you have the delay, and during the off period you should not have the any delay. That means if the switch is open, that case the bulb should instantly off. So when you use the on delay timer, there will be a delay in the on only. So there will be no delay in the off. So off delay timer, it is the contract of the on delay timer. So which is there is no delay in on period and there is a delay in off period. Suppose if you take the same example, so now when you close the switch, so the bulb has to glow instantly. During on period, there should not be any delay. So now whenever you open the switch, your bulb should not off instantly. So there should be some delay during off period. Okay, that is the off delay timer. So another timer is the accumulative or retentive timer. So accumulative timer is nothing but this retain the timer value even if the power to PLC is off. Suppose if you use, as I said before, you are having general timers and accumulative timers, right? So when you use the general timers, so these general timers will be bring back to zero when the power supply goes to off. So that means power supply to your PLC is off while running the timer. So then the timer value will come back to 0. So but when you use the accumulative timer, right? So this accumulative timer will store the previous data. So even though if the power supply is off, that means if the power supply is off, then the timer value, present timer value will be stored. So then after power supply is came, it will not start from again 0. It will start from the previous value wherever it is stopped. So that is about the accumulative timer and general timers. Okay, in accumulative timer we will use the accumulative timer numbers. They will retain the timer value even if the power supply to the PLC is off. Okay, so now let us implement all these three types of timers using a PLC. Okay, here I am using one switch and one LED. So the switch is connected to the X0 and LED is connected to the output terminal Y0. Now whenever I close the switch, so this bulb generally instantly should go, but by using timers, on delay, off delay timers and retentive timers, we are going to execute how this will work. So for that purpose, I am going to open the software which is WPL software. So this is the software what we use for programming the PLC. So which is WPL soft. The version here I am using is 2.45. You click on this. So when you open the PLC, generally you will not get any pop-up windows. So you should get like this window, right? So now you take the new file. So when you click on new, so then you will open a pop-up window like this. Select a PLC model, and here our program title is timer. Right? Now the model number what you have to select here is the SS2 model. So then the remaining will be the same. Click on OK. So once if you click on OK, you will get two windows here: instruction list mode and ladder diagram mode. So generally we prefer the ladder diagram mode to program the PLC. So you maximize it. So now here this is the space for writing the program. So this blue box is your cursor. So now your cursor you have to set initially here. Then you have to start writing the program. So what is our aim here? I am using the example this one bulb connected to a voltage source through a switch. When so now I am going to implement the on delay timer. So that means when I press the switch, there will be some delay to turn on the bulb. Okay, how you can execute this? So for that purpose you will use the timer. So now I am using the input X0, which is the switch. Now whenever X0 is energized, that means whenever you press the switch, your X0 will be energized. So then whenever X0 is energized, your timer has to start. Now where you can find the timer? Here you can find the timer, F6 in application instructions, you will find the timer. So when you press F6 here, it will open a window like this. So here you just simply type TM on, right? So if you want to know about the timer in detail, you go to the help, which is this icon, you click on this. So now this is the instructions about the timer. This timer is a 16-bit timer. It is having two variables, S1 and S2. So S1 is the timer number and S2 is the set value. Okay. So timer number will be from T0 to T255. So total 256 timers are there for SS2 model. So you can use any timer number. And set value here is that the timer will start whenever this timer is executed. It will start counting the value. Okay. Now up to what value you have to count, that will be set by this S2. Right? If you want to turn on the bulb for 10 seconds, so then you have to set S2 to be 10 seconds. Right? S2 is the set value. Okay, right here S1 is a timer number. I am taking timer number T0, and this is the decimal number multiplied with this 100. Suppose, as you know before, T0 is a 100 milliseconds timer. You go to the previous slide. See here. T naught is a 100 milliseconds timer. So now generally how you can calculate the actual value of the time is that the actual value of the time you can calculate by using the formula which is I am typing here actual time is equal to timer resolution multiplied by set value. Okay, so this is the formula you have to use for calculating the actual time. So actual time is in real time. Okay, timer resolution means so for T naught timer resolution is 100 milliseconds. So here for our example here I am taking T naught timer and K I am keeping it as 100. This is the set value. Okay, 100 I am setting. Right. So then what is the total timer resolution is 100 milliseconds multiplied by set value is 100. So total 10,000 milliseconds. So which is nothing but 10 seconds. So like that you have to calculate the actual time value. Okay. So then you click on OK. When you click on OK, you will get the instruction like this. So whenever X naught is energized, the timer will start counting, and whenever it reaches the set value, so then internally T naught contactor will be on. Right. So now suppose with this address T naught, if you take an open contact, so with the same address T naught, so whenever this T naught reaches the set value, so then this T naught contactor will be on. So when it is on here, this will also on, as it is a normally open contact, it will on. Suppose if you use if you use normally closed contact, it will open like that. Okay. Now after reaching the timer values timer set value, T naught will be on. Whenever T naught is on, your output Y naught has to on. So this is the program. Now you compile the code. Okay. Now you keep in simulator mode, then online mode. So here you are getting stopped. So you have to run this. So now the program is running. So now if you observe here, T naught is value is K0. Okay. Now this time will start counting, and it will, whenever it reaches to 100, so then T naught will be energized. That means the internal contactor of the timer with the number T naught will be energized. So when T naught is energized, this open contact will close, so that this Y naught will get the supply. Okay. So when this timer will start, it's a time counting value. So now whenever you press this, it will start counting. Okay. So you see here, whenever S naught is on, the timer will start counting its value, and whenever this count value reaches to 100, then T naught will be energized. So when T naught is energized, this will become on. So when it is on, Y naught will also on. Okay. So during off, when you off this, it will instantly off. Okay. So here it is the Y naught is the bulb and X naught is your switch. When switch is on, instantly the bulb is not on. So there is a delay of 10 seconds to turn on the bulb. So this is about the on delay time. Okay. So now how to implement the off delay time? So same program, here I am writing the off delay timer program. So now whenever I press the switch, X naught will be energized. So when X naught is energized, your bulb should glow inside. Sorry. Okay. So in off delay timer, on will be instant. That means whenever X naught is pressed, Y naught has to on. Okay. So now here when you open this bulb, Y naught should not off instantly. For that purpose, here you have to provide the latching. So which is in parallel to the X naught, you have to take one contactor with the address Y naught. Okay, now you have to connect it in parallel with this. X naught in parallel, Y naught is connected. Okay, so this is called the latching. So that means even though if X naught is off, continuity of supply will be maintained by this contact. Okay, so I will show how it is. Just see. So to execute a program in the laptop or PC, yeah, you always have to switch on the simulator. Okay, whenever you switch on the simulator, you will get a simulator here. So then you have to press the online mode. Okay. If it is in stop mode, you have to run this. Okay, so now see here, whenever I press the switch, that means X naught is on, your Y naught is instantly switched on. So now if you switch off this, it will not off. Why? Because in parallel to the switch, you are providing a latching circuit with address Y naught. When Y naught is on, this is also closed. So now the continuity of supply will be maintained through this contact even though X naught is on. Okay, so but here as per this program, this Y naught will be continuously in on only. So to make it off after 10 seconds, you have to write one more step. Okay, that step is that here you have to take the normally closed contact X naught, and here you have to connect one timer. So TMR timer number again, you may take anywhere, anytime. I am taking T1. So then K value again 100. That means 10 seconds I am taking. Okay. So now this is about the off delay timer. So now whenever this X naught is open, so when X naught is open, that means whenever your switch is open, X naught will be de-energized. So when it is de-energized, then here as the contact is normally closed, so now the power supply will go to the timer and timer will start counting its value. So whenever it reaches when the counter value reaches to set value, so then T1 will be energized. When T1 is energized, this bulb should off. So for that purpose, here you have to take one normally closed button with the address T1. Okay, so this is about the off delay timer. So again you run this in simulator mode, then keep in online, then run. Okay, so see here, initially before you press the switch, this contactor, normally closed contactor, is in closed mode. This is in open mode. Okay, this is normally open contact, this is normally closed contact. So when the switch is in open condition, then here this will be in closed mode. So your timer will start counting value and it will count up to K100. Right? So whenever it is reaches to K100, this normally open contact will open. Okay, so generally you should not take this into consideration while turning on. So first step here is, whenever you press on, what happens you see. So when you switch on this will be open and this will be closed. So power supply to Y naught you will get. Okay, so that means whenever you press the switch, your bulb is instantly glowing. So when you off this, then your timer will start counting value. After reaching the counter value to 100, then T1 will be energized. When T1 is energized, this will open. So power supply will be disconnected to Y naught and Y naught will off. Okay, this is about the off delay timer. So then what is the retentive timer? Okay, so during on delay timer, your timer value will come back to 0. So if you take this is your general purpose timer. T0 is a general purpose timer. Right? So when you use the general purpose timer, so suppose if you press X naught, your timer is starts its count and it is counting the value. Suppose if supply is disconnected to timer, so instantly it is going to 0. So when you use the general purpose timers, then when the timer is start counting its value, so during the counting, during the period of counting, if the supply to this timer is off, then this timer will be reset back to 0. So but when you use the accumulative timer, so accumulative timers are here are 250 to 255. So here I am changing this T0 to T0 to T251. T251 is the accumulative timer. Click on OK. Here you will get this. Now this accumulative timer will retain its value even though the switch is in open. See here whether it is happening or not. So now I am switching on this. So whenever you switch on the switch, this timer will get the supply and it will start counting the value. Right after some period of time, if supply to X0 is off, so what happened? So when X0 is off, the timer will not get the supply. Now here the count value is 89. So it is not 0. It is not coming back to 0. Okay. So when the supply to the timer is off, then it will retain the count value here. Now once you get the supply, that means when X0 is on, then it will start counting from 89. So that means 89, 90 it will start, not from 0. This is about the accumulative. See here, when X0 is on, it will start counting 89, 90 up to 100. So whenever it reaches 100, set value and these two values are equal. So T251 will be energized. So now in place of T0, if you use address T251, then your bulb will glow. Right. So now this T250, now if you off this, even though this K value will be at 100 only. Why? Because it is accumulative timer. Now how you can reset this value? So to reset that value, you have to use another command or another switch. So with the X1, I am going to use another switch externally. So when I press the X1, this timer T51 has to reset. So you go to application instruction. Here you press RST. You type RST, and here you have to use timer 251. Okay, that means whenever you press X1, this will reset the T251. Okay, so to grow this here, instead of T0, you have to use 251. Okay, so I run this. Okay, now whenever you on this, your timer will start counting. So in the middle, if you off this, it will retain its value, and again if the power supply is on, it will start from the previous value and it will count up to 100. Whenever these two are equal, T251 will be energized. So when T251 is energized, your bulb will glow. Okay. Now this X0 is off. Even then also this T251 count value is at 100 only. Why? Because it is a accumulative timer. It retain its value always. So this bulb will always be on as long as this 251 will be in energized mode. Okay. So now to reset this, what you have to do? You are pressing the X1. Now whenever you press this X1, it will reset the value to 0. See here, when X0 is pressed, this K becomes 0. See, I switched on X0. Now this timer is reset. So when the timer is reset, this will be de-energized and Y0 will be off. So even though this is off now, it will be at 0 only until you switch on this X0. So this is about the retentive timer. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.